What's going on, guys? If you're new to Off the Record, we are your source for music news. We're also going to be covering celebrities and red carpet things in the future, but right now we are sticking to music news. I want to cover the Ozzy Osbourne VMA tribute today. It's crazy, everything that's happened historically this summer, let alone in the news. But let's get into Ozzy Osbourne's tribute. So the other night, the MTV Music Awards, the Video Music Awards, the rock world united to honor a true legend, Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, may be gone. But the tribute performance proved that his music, his spirit, and his influences on music are eternal. So, we've got another picture right here of them performing at the VMAs. So, Ozzy, who passed away in July at the age of 76, was celebrated with a star-studded performance that felt like both a concert and a family reunion. The lineup, we have Aerosmith's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, the incredible guitarist Neuro Bentoncourt, and one of Ozzy's closest modern-day friends, Yungblud. That's right, Yungblud. We're going to get a little bit more into that. I find that very interesting, their dynamic, their relationship. I really like it, and I'm going to discuss that a little bit more later on in this clip. So let's cut to another image here of Ozzy. So we've got some performance clips here too. So I like this one of Steven Tyler and Yungblud singing together. So the performance opened with a pure adrenaline rush. Yungblud storming the stage with Crazy Train, Betancourt, ripping through the riffs that define a generation. Then came the tender moment where Youngblood's version of Changes. It was super raw, super emotional, and deeply personal. So we'll get a little bit more into that as well later on. And then also, Steven Tyler then stepped up to sing Mama, I'm Coming Home, backed by Joe Perry on guitar, with Yungblud returning to close it out. And as a final note, the notes rang out. Yungblud shouted, Ozzy Forever, man, before the performers came together and embraced to sum up the night. So let's get a little bit into Ozzy and Youngblood's relationship. Let's see, I've got a picture right here of him with the fans. We've got a picture of him right here with Ozzy. So what made this tribute hit even harder was Youngblood's connection to Ozzy. So there weren't just two collaborators; they were real friends. So Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne had publicly supported Yungblud early in his career, praising his energy, his fearless spirit, seeing in him the same fire that Ozzy had when he first shook up the world with Black Sabbath. That's right, Black Sabbath. Biting the head off a bat, Black Sabbath, man. So Yungblud has often said that Ozzy felt like a mentor, someone who encouraged him to embrace chaos, stay true to himself, and never apologize for being different. It's a very rock star little phrase right there. And the bond wasn't just talk. Ozzy even gave Yungblud a custom necklace at one of his final live appearances, and it was like a symbolic passing of the torch. I believe I've got that image right here. Again, I do think Ozzy really did love Yungblud. You could see it in the way they interacted, the way they talked on video. So when Yungblud stood on that VMA stage performing Changes, a song originally written and recorded for Ozzy's own daughter, Kelly Osbourne. It felt like Yungblud was carrying that legacy forward. It wasn't just a cover to him, it was a promise to keep Ozzy's spirit alive in a new generation of music listeners. So again, here's Ozzy with a lot of his fans. Again, he was a guy that loved his fans, was very interactive with his followers. So this tribute wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about connection. The old guard and the new wave came together to celebrate a man who defined heavy metal and lived every moment unapologetically. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Nuno, Yungblud, all different eras of rock united under Ozzy's shadow. I thought that was really cool. So, if you didn't watch the performances, I loved Youngblood's vocals on the Ozzy songs. You can tell he grew up listening to these songs. You can tell they formed his musical career, and he really sang them passionately, like he wrote them, like they felt something to him, which made an amazing performance. So Ozzy once said, you can't kill rock and roll. It's here to stay." And that night of the VMAs, the message rang loud and clear. Ozzy Osbourne may no longer be walking the earth, but his music and his madness live on forever. So, this has been your music news update on the VMA performances. Comment below what you thought about the performances, what you liked, what you didn't like. I thought it was a beautiful tribute to a huge, huge man that had a huge influence on rock and roll. People called them heavy metal. I would say that they're really, Black Sabbath is really just a classic rock band now. They're definitely not the heaviest music out there anymore, but they are absolutely classic, absolute legends in the scene.